Hey guys, welcome to another, I always say episode, it's not an episodic show. Welcome to today's video. I am the Hooded Lid and today is Sunscreen Saturday. This is the last in 3 new sunscreens that I purchased based on people mentioning them, people I follow mentioning them on a YouTube. And this is Kinship. So the first one I did was the Olay, which Angie at Hot and Flashy had mentioned. The second one I did, I don't even remember, which is kind of weird. Oh, the Can Make, which Penny at Penn Smith mentioned she really liked, and I really like that too. And this is Kinship, and Kinship was something that Elle Leary recommended. And again, none of these people did reviews, they just put them on as part of their regular program, part of a makeup video they might have been doing. Except Penny doesn't do makeup videos, but I don't really remember. And I'm doing full review. So this is the Kinship Self-Reflect. I have to put on my glasses. Kinship Self-Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen. It's zinc oxide, 22.5%, and that's the only sunscreen in here. You know, before I started this, I thought, wow, I feel so awake for the first time in such a long time. I'm going to have such an easy time doing this video. And the minute I sit down, I'm like, what? What is that word? What is that word? The struggle's real. Now, today might look a little different than usual because it's really cloudy outside. In fact, it looks like it's going to rain, but there's no rain in the forecast. But UVA rays, they're available whenever the sun is out. Yay. Year-round. Double yay. Zinc oxide actually covers UVA and UVB, so that's good. I tend to have a sensitivity to sunscreens that have zinc oxide, but I'm not gonna lie, I tried this a couple of times. So I ordered this from Ulta and I got a little sample of the same thing. So I wore this twice, but not the full dosage, and I didn't have any problems. Today we're gonna break into the box. This is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. So UVA rays can go through windows. This is the kind of day that I would spend working in the garden. It's perfect for working in the garden because you can plant something and not worry about the sun stressing it out when it's just been planted, because being planted alone is a stressor. But I don't have anything to plant. Well, I do, but I want some other things to plant. Sometimes I get comments saying, you're wearing too much. In fact, I'm not. For those of you who are new and just came for this and are thinking, I'm going to write you saying you're wearing too much, case in point, for your face, for your neck, you need 1/4 teaspoon in order to get the amount of protection that is written here. In this case, it's SPF 32, which again, pretty good for a cloudy day. SPF is dose specific. In other words, you can't put this much on your face and go, well, I have SPF 32 on my face. No, you don't. I usually measure this out, but because I've been doing this for a long, long time, I'm going to say that is 1/4 teaspoon. It's a lot. Now, this is a little bit thick. Not going nowhere. Not moving at all. It almost looks like a whipped kind of a thing. And you might notice that it has a little bit of a grayish tinge. I imagine they just put some color in this so you wouldn't see the whiteness of the zinc. And oftentimes when something is kind of thick, I'll put this on in 2 layers. So here we go. It's weird. When my door is open, this looks blue. Where my light is on me, this looks gray. But the interesting thing is, the color, this white, gray, whatever it is, doesn't last. It has a scent. It's a nice, pleasant scent, and it is definitely added because they also sent me samples of their cleanser, which I really, really like. And it's a good size sample. Now I kind of have cleansers I already use, but it's a good one to, you know, add to the cycle. And now a little bit on the neck. And as soon as I'm done blending this in, we will go over the ingredients. And layer number 2. So this scent is the same scent as the cleanser. It's really pleasant. Almost kind of a vanilla-y scent, which I don't mind. And this is a moisturizer, but it doesn't feel greasy. I wouldn't say this feels particularly emollient. It's just it doesn't feel drying. And that's great because zinc oxide, its very nature is drying. And for me, I have to wear something that counteracts that. So here is the look. It looks a little white, and like I said, I've only used a little bit when I tried this 2 other times. I've never put on the full dose. So let's see what happens. If we don't lose any of that whiteness, it won't be the end of the world. I think the advice would be mix it with something else. So I think one time that I mixed this, I mixed some of the MyShell, which is much, much thinner, so it cut down on that thickness. I was able to get the SPF I needed and wear the amount that I needed to get that SPF by cutting this with the MyShell, and it wasn't so terribly white. So while I'm waiting for this to see if the white is going to abate, let's talk about the ingredients. I have a little list here, and I shall do my best to read it without my glasses. Glasses on. Okay, zinc oxide 22.4%. If you have issues with coconut, by the way, you guys, you should take a look at these ingredients before you buy, because there are several coconut derivative ingredients in here, and I know some people are sensitive to coconut. I personally, I don't believe that I am. After your water and your emollients, we have coconut alkalines, cetyl alcohol, which is a fatty alcohol, glycerin, aloe leaf juice, apple fruit extract, cocoa glucoside, which is a coconut derivative. So look that up. Lactobacillus ferment, red raspberry seed oil, Cocos nucifera, which is coconut, liquid, endosperm. I don't name them, you guys. Turmeric oil, tocopherol, vanilla, plantifolia fruit extract. That is why it smells good. So there's no fragrance added, which is great. And as I understand it, vanilla fruit extract is actually pretty nice for your skin, and it smells delicious. So that is nice. Then we have licorice root extract, lecithin, another cocoa situation, and xanthan gum tapioca. These are all thickening agents. So yeah, that's what we have. So for antioxidants, we have tocopherol. For skin brightening, we have licorice root extract. For skin identicals, we have glycerin. Something soothing is the aloe and the lactobacillus ferment, and zinc oxide, 22.4%. Really nice ingredients. It feels, like a cream. It hasn't really settled in, and the sun's coming out. So I think I need to wait for 5 minutes or so before I continue on and try to put on some foundation. Back in a snap. All right, it is about 5-10 minutes later, and it's interesting. On my computer, it doesn't look as white. In my mirror, it doesn't look as white. After I shut the computer down, the camera down, I went into the other room, and it didn't look white in that room. So it kind of depends on the light. There is a whitish hue for sure, but it's not too bad. If you wanted to wear this without foundation and you're extraordinarily pale, I don't think you're going to have a problem. I consider myself to be light medium. If you're darker than me, yeah, you're going to need foundation for sure. So let's go ahead and put on some foundation. It feels a little bit drier now. It's not as, before it was smooth, I could really move it, and I still can, like right here, but you know, it feels like something's on your skin. It hasn't sunken into your skin. I mean, you saw how it came out of the tube. That's not sinking in. We're going to go in with my beloved Makeup Forever Reboot, which is the foundation I always use to test these, so we just have something, you know, to ground everything. And I usually apply this with my fingers, so that's what we're going to do. And I usually use 2 pumps. And let's see. So we'll be able to tell if they work well together, if I need a little more foundation, if fingers are going to leave marks. Oh, so while we're at it, you guys, the mirror that I bought, it gave me a headache. It was so close that I couldn't put on my eye makeup and see the overall look. That's how much it was magnified. So I kept on having to go back to this, which is magnified, but it's not terrifying to look into. So I decided this is going to go back. And I went back to the store where I bought it, and this is a small chain in Los Angeles. There's probably 4 stores. I'm not going to mention names. But I've been a good customer for 4 or 5 years. And actually, maybe 6 years for a while. And they said they can't take it back because of COVID. I'm like, what? This is $120. I just threw away $120. I'm like, yeah, sorry. So that doesn't seem very fair to me. And the manager said, well, let me talk to management of the company and I'll get back to you. And she got back to me and said, no, we can't take it back, unfortunately, but we have some great samples for you when you come back again. All right, there was no problem with this at all. And the sun's coming out. I don't know what this looks like to you guys, because I'm just looking at my computer and it acts as my monitor, and I can also make little adjustments with this on my camera. It looks whitish on my computer. I think this might need to settle in for a little bit. It's possible this has lightened up my foundation the teeniest bit. Anyway, let's go in with a couple of cream products and see what happens. I recently got another Fenty Summertime Wine, I think it's called. And we'll just do the smallest bit of this. Just put it on the hand and then transfer it to the other finger. It'll just be a teeny, 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 teeny bit. So there's still a tacky feeling for sure. Let's try some powder and see how that works, because I'm looking at my fingers and I'm like, stuff came off on my fingers. Let's just take a little testy test. I feel that there is drag here. So if you wanted to go ahead and use powder products, powder bronzer, powder blush, powder whatever, you would definitely need to powder first. And yeah, I'm looking on my brush and I can see the what I like to call, scientifically speaking, goopiness. So let me just show you what this brush looks like. There's just, you can see the little hairs sticking together, and I can feel it on the brush too. Just a little bit goopy. So it's you know, it needs a little bit of work. It's not going to sink into the skin, but I will tell you what, usually when I wear zinc-based sunscreens, I start to get this pins and needles kind of feeling and a tightness. I don't get that with this. So there's something in here that kind of counteracts that, which I really, really appreciate. So for me, I really like this. I have, as I said, tried this a couple of times before, but not using the full dosage. So once I did it by itself, it probably half dosage. and no problem at all. I don't remember it being tacky. I don't remember it sticking onto my brush like this, but it was a thinner application. And then the second time that I used it, because there was really not much left, I think I added the My Shell Tinted to it. So that both cut the creaminess of it and changed the color of it a little bit. So I was able to get the correct amount, the correct dosage of the sunscreen, but I didn't have a problem with that either. So at full dosage it could be a little iffy, but I do think this is well worth picking up. If you have problems with zinc, give it a try, because this might not be something that you'll react to. If you have oily skin, you might not like this. You might not just like the heaviness, but it's not emollient, it's not greasy. So it's quite nice. I really enjoy this a lot, and I love the scent. It's so delicious. I want to eat it. That's anything that smells delicious, I pretty much want to eat. Strange. Yeah. So there we have it. You can get this at Ulta. You can get this probably on their own website. I don't know anything about this brand. If you'd like me to look into it more, I will. And that's it. Sunscreen Saturday. This will be my last one, and we're going back to Mass. And well, we'll see. Maybe there'll be some new sunscreens that I'll see other people talk about that I'll give a try. But for now, that's going to wrap up the sunscreen winter edition, I guess. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with me. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart. Do you guys want to see my masks? I got some new masks that are insane. Hold on. Okay, designer Johnny Was. I always say Was. It's spelt was. So it could be Johnny Was, but I think it's Was. He is now doing masks. I saw somebody at Trader Joe's in the elevator, and we talked a little bit. I said, I love your mask. Where'd you get that? And she said, Johnny Was. I'm like, oh, well, it's probably $40, because, you know, on Beautylish, the company that makes the satin pillowcases or silk pillowcases, they sell them for like $40, which I think is insane. She said, no, it's $25 for 5. Now, that's if you get the cotton, sateen. They also have them in silk, which is $40 for 5. And they have some that are embroidered that are really beautiful. So I've been wearing medical masks this whole time because it makes me look smart. You know? I don't know, you know, the stories you tell yourself. I feel like I look like a doctor. So I got 2 sets of masks because we are going to be wearing them. The rest of us are not going to have access to this vaccine, you guys, until maybe May. Is going to be a while, so we need to continue wearing masks. And I just want to show you some of these masks, so just for kicks. Look how pretty. Are you kidding? Very spring. And most of these are kind of spring-like. Little flowers. This one's a pretty bold print. I'm not so sure about that one. Look. This one I really like. This is good for winter. I mean, I like all of these. I gave one to my neighbor. And a nice burgundy, very winter. And this was not supposed to be red. It didn't look red, but red. And then I have one in the car, and one I gave to my neighbor. And, you know, the things that they show you, you might not get exactly. Like, they're showing you 5 massive fat swatches of fabric, you might get 3 of them and then a couple of surprises. So it wasn't exactly 100% what I was expecting, but they're really nice, they're really well priced, and they're very feminine, but they have others. They have some like tie-dye ones and something that's not as busy. So this is what happens. These move up and down. So you put it on your face and just adjust it for your face size. There is a fabric inside, so you have protection of this fabric, which is single ply, the protection of this fabric, and it has a slit in it here, so if you want to put your own filter in there, you can. I did notice, I wore it for the first time yesterday when I went grocery shopping, and I thought it doesn't feel like it's giving me the same protection that the medical masks are, even though the weight of them on your face isn't any different. It feels very light. And that could be because the one I wore was silk, because silk is quite a light fabric. So you might want to, you know, put a filter in it. I was thinking of cutting off some coffee filters. I bought the wrong size and see how that works. I don't know. But yeah, just wanted to share those with you because I think they are so pretty. I've never heard anybody talk about them before. And, you know, why not have a little fashion with your mask? I do love fashion. All right, you guys, stay safe. This is one way you can stay safe and smart. And I'm wishing you good health.